Our next topic, which I think I knew nothing about it until I saw the article come out. So the Black Freedom Fund, which is part of Silicon Valley Community Foundation, it was initiated because of the outcry with George Floyd. But the California Black Freedom Fund plans to extend their $200 million endowment. Neil, you've read through the article. Share with us some of your thoughts on what that's really saying to us.
Well, the good thing is it's all private donors, so they can do whatever they want. But I want to I want to put this in perspective. I mean, they call it the Black Freedom Fund, and they're raising what $200 million to, and get this, to build power, to give grants to nonprofits, to run legal workshops, and to fund leadership retreats. Sounds impressive, but look closer. Not a dime goes to the root of the problem. They're shoveling money into the same activists and advocacy pipelines that have been running for decades. Pipelines that treat the symptoms while the disease spreads. Pipelines that have not done a single thing to lower the problem with African American plight. So the hard truth is simply this: the greatest predictor of poverty, we've talked about this, crime and failure in education, isn't skin color, it's not racism, it's not income level, it's simply what? Fatherlessness. Today, when nearly 70% of Black kids grow up without a dad in their home, remember in 1960, it was less than 20%. 64 is when it starts to grow rapidly. So they can pour 200 million into after-school programs and community building power and pay off their friendly nonprofits to use the money to buy whatever they want to do. And they can do community power building all day long, and it's not going to fix the problem. Boys without fathers are twice as likely to drop out of school, 4 times more likely to live in poverty, 10 times more likely to end up in prison. Girls without fathers are 7 times more likely to become pregnant as teens. That's not politics. That's decades of hard data from the US Census Bureau, the Department of Justice, and the CDC. So the answer is not replacing fathers with the state. Right? The answer is not replacing fathers with the state, not more caseworkers, not more programs, not more dependency. All that does is feed the beast, telling people that the fault is racism or jobs or education. All they're doing is saying, look over there. The only solution is restoring fathers to their home, restoring marriage as a norm, removing the perverse incentives and welfare and policies that make it easier to kick dad out than to keep them in. Look, if they spend half that money promoting marriage, how about paying rappers to write songs about how being a real man is being a good dad? How about rappers talking about how a real men marry one woman and stay faithful to her? How about rappers talking about how being a real man is being the example that your daughters can look up to and can decide that they want to marry a man just like their dad who's going to keep her family and keep her safe? That's what the money should be going to. Until we fix that, all this endowment talk is just the sound of money swirling down the drain and feeding the beast. And I'm telling you, Silicon Valley folks, save your money. It's just going down the drain. In fact, it might make things worse.
Yeah. Well, you're passionate about that, but that's something that we've been talking about and our agency has been talking about for the longest time. And no one seems to want to go to the root of the problem. But thank you, Neil.